You've likely spent countless hours in lecture halls, surrounded by the hum of projectors and the rustle of turning pages. You've probably highlighted textbooks until they bled ink, meticulously memorizing definitions, theories, and the models of emotional intelligence. Perhaps you even aced the exams, securing that coveted on your emotional intelligence semester for transcript. But now, as you step out of the academic bubble and into the relentless, unpredictable currents of real life, I have a crucial question for you. Do you truly feel equipped? Do you feel genuinely empowered to master your own cascading emotions, the unexpected waves of frustration, the quiet whispers of anxiety, the sudden surges of joy? Are you truly adept at navigating the often turbulent, sometimes baffling, waters of human relationships, where unspoken words and subtle cues can hold more weight than grand pronouncements? And when faced with life's inevitable challenges, the unexpected setbacks, and the crushing disappointments, do you possess the unwavering wisdom, the profound composure, that defines not just a well-read individual, but a true, practicing Stoic? Because here, on True Stoic Mindset, we understand a fundamental truth that often gets lost in academic discourse. There's a significant, and often frustrating, chasm between merely knowing about emotional intelligence and truly living it. It's not just a concept confined to lecture halls, a bullet point on a resume, or a chapter in a textbook. It is, at its very core, a dynamic, learnable, and profoundly transformative set of life skills. These are the skills absolutely crucial for not just surviving, but thriving, for achieving lasting success, cultivating profound inner peace, and building an unshakable resilience in every single facet of your existence. Today, we're going to dismantle that theoretical facade. We're diving deep, far beyond the surface-level definitions, to uncover what Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should have truly instilled within you. This isn't just about the what, but the how, the actionable strategies, the practical tools, and the profound insights championed by modern pioneers. We'll explore the groundbreaking work of Daniel Goleman, who brilliantly brought this vital field into the mainstream consciousness, and delve into the incredibly practical frameworks developed by Dr. Mark Brackett from Yale, whose tools empower real change. These are the transformative lessons that empower you to sculpt a more fulfilling, a more resilient, and ultimately, a more authentically Stoic life, a life defined by your unwavering mastery of your internal world, regardless of the chaos that may rage outside. The Foundational Framework, Goleman's Pillars of EI, Unlocking Your Inner Compass. Let's begin by firmly rooting ourselves in the foundational framework, the bedrock upon which our deeper understanding of emotional intelligence will be built, as popularized by the insightful work of Daniel Goleman. For Goleman, emotional intelligence isn't some rare, esoteric talent bestowed upon a select few at birth. Instead, he defines it as a profound and interconnected set of personal skills, meticulously learned, honed, and refined throughout your entire life. Think of it as the silent, unwritten curriculum of human existence, a curriculum far more impactful than any formal syllabus in truly determining your ultimate well-being, your enduring relationships, and your genuine success. Goleman distills this complex intelligence into 4 core domains, each a pillar supporting the edifice of emotional mastery. The first, and arguably the most crucial pillar, is self-awareness. This is the absolute bedrock upon which all other dimensions of emotional intelligence truly rest. It's about cultivating a deep, intuitive understanding of your own feelings in the very moment they arise, recognizing that subtle flutter of anxiety before a big presentation, or the surge of excitement when a new idea sparks. But it goes further than simple recognition. Self-awareness is also about understanding how those raw emotions powerfully shape your perceptions, subtly bending your very thoughts, and critically, influencing your impulses to act. Do you become defensive when challenged? Do you withdraw when overwhelmed? Research consistently demonstrates that individuals possessing a high degree of self-awareness don't just understand themselves better. They possess a foundational strength that allows them to develop excellence across all other facets of emotional intelligence. Think of it as your internal compass, Without truly knowing where your internal compass points, without understanding its subtle shifts and biases, how can you ever hope to navigate the often perplexing landscape of the external world effectively? This profound internal attunement is directly akin to the ancient Stoic practice of prosoche, a continuous, attentive self-awareness, constantly examining one's judgments, impressions, and internal reactions to the world around them. It is the first step towards truly distinguishing what is within your control from what is not. Building directly on this foundation of self-awareness, we move to the second pillar, self-management. This is the practical application of your newfound awareness. It's the formidable ability to manage your emotions, whether it be the fiery heat of anger, the persistent hum of anxiety, the frustrating grip of impatience, or even the overwhelming rush of unbridled joy, so that they do not derail your focus, interrupt your rational thought processes, or disrupt your ability to do what truly needs to be done. In our hyper-connected, relentlessly fast-paced modern world, the demand for this particular skill is skyrocketing. The capacity to deliberately pause, to take that crucial breath, to choose your reasoned response rather than react impulsively to every provocation, is not just a personal virtue. It has become a vital professional, social, and spiritual necessity. This discipline aligns beautifully and directly with the Stoic discipline of assent, the conscious act of controlling one's judgments and impulses, thereby cultivating an unwavering inner tranquility, an ataraxia, regardless of the external storms or provocations that may rage. It's about recognizing the initial impression, then choosing whether to give it your full assent and allow it to dictate your actions. Next, we expand our view outward to the third pillar, social awareness, often used synonymously with empathy. This domain transcends mere self-focus. It goes beyond simply knowing what another person might be thinking or superficially feeling. True empathy, in Goleman's view, is about genuinely caring about their experiences, making a conscious effort to step into their shoes, and striving to understand the world from their unique perspective. Here's a crucial insight, and a common pitfall in modern communication: poor listening. This isn't just a minor social annoyance. It represents a profound deficiency in true empathy. Genuinely caring for another person requires active, engaged listening, not just passively waiting for your turn to speak, not formulating your rebuttal in your head, but truly absorbing, reflecting, validating, and being present for the other person's reality. It's about seeing the human behind the words. Finally, we arrive at the fourth pillar, relationship management. This is where all the previous pillars, your self-awareness, your self-management, and your social awareness, beautifully coalesce into action. It's the formidable ability to skillfully handle conflicts with grace, to maintain your composure even amidst heated discussions, to listen empathetically even when you disagree, and to communicate effectively and persuasively in order to foster harmony, build deep trust, and create truly effective, robust, and meaningful relationships. These aren't just superficial connections forged out of convenience. They are the deep, authentic bonds that allow for profound collaboration, powerful mutual support, and a richer human experience. This is where your individual emotional intelligence translates into collective well-being. The practical edge: why EI outperforms IQ in life and leadership, a paradigmatic shift. Now, let's address a long-standing misconception, a deeply ingrained belief that has governed our understanding of success for decades: the almost singular reign of IQ. For much of the 20th century, cognitive intelligence, or IQ, has been the undisputed golden standard. It's been touted as the ultimate predictor, the crystal ball revealing your future. And to be fair, IQ is a decent predictor of how well you'll perform in academic settings, how you'll fare on standardized tests, your ability to absorb complex information in school, perhaps even the general salary range you might initially command at the outset of your career. It indicates what kind of job you can do, whether it's a meticulous accountant, a brilliant surgeon, or a persuasive lawyer. However, here's where the narrative shifts dramatically, revealing a truth that Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should engrave upon your understanding: Once you've successfully entered those professions, once you're past the initial academic hurdles and entry-level requirements, emotional intelligence doesn't just become important, it truly ascends to its paramount, undeniable importance. The individuals who consistently become the most excellent performers, the most inspiring and effective leaders, the ones who truly make an impact and leave a lasting legacy, they are overwhelmingly those with demonstrably high emotional intelligence. At that critical juncture in your career, and indeed, in your life, your raw IQ, while foundational, becomes significantly less relevant than your profound ability to navigate the complex, often messy, human element. It's no longer primarily about what you can do with your intellect, but how well you can do it, and critically, how well you can do it with and through others. This is the ultimate differentiator. And here's perhaps the most empowering truth about EI, a truth that should ignite a fire of possibility within every student who has completed Semester 4. Unlike IQ, which is largely believed to be relatively fixed throughout life, a genetic lottery you either win or lose, emotional intelligence is profoundly dynamic. It can be learned. It can be cultivated. It can be refined and improved at any stage of life, from childhood well into your later years. This isn't just wishful thinking or a motivational platitude, it's a scientific reality, backed by the remarkable findings of neuroscience. The process of changing deeply ingrained habits, perhaps becoming a consistently better listener, or mastering your temper more effectively, or even becoming more aware of your body's subtle emotional signals, requires initial conscious, deliberate effort. It might feel awkward, even uncomfortable, at first. But this is precisely where the miracle of neuroplasticity comes into play. With consistent, persistent, and intentional practice, those new, positive emotional behaviors literally begin to rewire the very neural pathways of your brain, gradually becoming automatic, deeply ingrained habits. This profound, deliberate, and consistent effort to reshape our internal responses, to sculpt our character, is the very essence of applied Stoic wisdom, translating ancient philosophical principles into daily, transformative action, thereby truly mastering your internal citadel, your inner self. This is where true freedom and resilience are found. From theory to action, Dr. Mark Brackett and the Ruler Approach, equipping your emotional toolkit. This brings us to the crucial bridge from abstract theory to tangible, actionable practice. While Daniel Goleman masterfully laid the essential groundwork, popularizing the concept of emotional intelligence and its critical importance, it is Dr. Mark Brackett, a distinguished psychology professor at Yale University and the pioneering director of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence, who offers us a profoundly practical and immediately applicable framework. Brackett's work shifts the focus from merely understanding emotions to actively reasoning with and about them. And this, my friends, is precisely where the real curriculum of Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should equip you, with concrete, actionable tools that you can deploy in your daily life, starting today. Let's break down Dr. Brackett's powerful and memorable framework, encapsulated in the acronym RULER. These are the 5 core skills that, when mastered, unlock true emotional literacy and mastery. First, R is for recognizing. This is the fundamental ability to accurately identify emotions in yourself and in others. It goes beyond a vague sense of unease or happiness. It means paying meticulous attention to the subtle, yet powerful, signals your body sends, perhaps a tightness in your chest, a rapid pulse, or a furrow in your brow. It means observing the nuanced cues in others, the micro-expressions that flit across a face, the subtle shifts in vocal tone, the unconscious language of their body. Are their shoulders tense? Is their voice rising, even slightly? Are their eyes darting, or are they holding steady contact? Recognizing these often overlooked signals is the absolute first, indispensable step to understanding what's truly happening emotionally, both within your own internal landscape and in the emotional world of those around you. Without this recognition, you are navigating blind. Next, we move to U is for understanding. This skill takes us beyond simple recognition into the realm of causality and consequence. It's about grasping the origins of emotions, both yours and others, and their potential ripple effects. Why am I feeling this way right now? What specific event, thought, or interaction triggered this cascade of emotion in me? And what might happen, what might be the short-term and long-term consequences, if I react, or don't react in a certain way? This involves connecting emotions to the underlying reasons they emerge, seeing the interconnected web of feelings, rather than just the isolated sensation. It's about building an emotional map, understanding the terrain you are traversing. Then, we come to a skill that is profoundly underestimated but critically important. L is for labeling. This is about using precise, nuanced language to describe emotions. Think beyond the simplistic binaries of happy or sad. Are you truly just happy, or are you joyful, elated, content, serene, optimistic, inspired? Or if you're experiencing discomfort, are you merely sad, or are you disappointed, frustrated, overwhelmed, melancholic, exasperated, or despairing? Dr. Brackett emphasizes the critical importance of cultivating a rich emotional vocabulary, what he terms emotion granularity. This precision allows for far clearer communication, both with yourself and with others, and significantly improves your ability to regulate those emotions. He insightfully argues that the pervasive use of overly simplistic emojis, while convenient for quick communication, can actually diminish our emotional intelligence by subtly encouraging us to lump complex feelings into broad, generic categories, thereby hindering true self-awareness and authentic expression. The more precise your label, the better you can understand and manage the feeling. Following labeling, we have E is for expressing. This skill teaches us how and when to communicate our emotions to others effectively and appropriately. It's not about uncontrolled emotional outbursts, which often alienate rather than connect. Instead, it's about choosing the most constructive way to convey what you feel, considering the cultural context, the nature of your relationship with the other person, and the desired outcome. Expressing effectively is about intentional, thoughtful communication that builds understanding, fosters connection, and resolves issues, rather than creating further distance or conflict. And finally, the culmination of the ruler framework, R is for regulating. These are the active strategies you employ to consciously and effectively deal with your daily emotions. This is where you truly learn to choose your response to a feeling, rather than passively letting the feeling choose your response for you. From simple, immediate tactics like taking a few deep, grounding breaths when anxiety strikes, to more complex, long-term cognitive reframing techniques, regulation is the active, deliberate management of your emotional state. It's the ongoing practice of steering your inner ship. Central to Dr. Brackett's transformative work, and a concept that profoundly resonates with Stoic philosophy, is the idea of permission to feel. This is profoundly insightful and often overlooked. Many of us, whether due to upbringing, societal norms that frown upon certain emotions, or painful past experiences, haven't been given, or crucially, haven't given ourselves, the permission to fully acknowledge, accept, and experience our emotions, especially the uncomfortable ones like grief, anger, or fear. We learn to suppress them, deny them, or try to ignore them, leading to long-term psychological and even physical consequences. The main barriers to granting this permission, both to ourselves and to others, often boil down to a perceived lack of time in our busy lives, or a deep-seated fear of not being able to handle the intensity of those emotions, whether our own or someone else's. However, the Stoics, centuries ago, understood this intuitively. They taught that initial impressions or first movements of emotion are unavoidable, natural human reactions. Their profound wisdom lies not in suppressing these initial feelings, but in accepting them without immediate judgment. By doing so, they implicitly granted themselves permission to feel before exercising their rational faculty to choose how to respond. This critical pause, this moment of acceptance before assent, is the bedrock of Stoic emotional control. Now, imagine a practical, visual tool that synthesizes much of this recognition and labeling. Dr. Brackett also developed the mood meter, a brilliantly simple yet remarkably powerful visual tool for daily emotional self-awareness. It's a two-axis grid, a personal emotional map. The horizontal, x-axis, represents pleasantness, ranging from very unpleasant on the left to very pleasant on the right. The vertical, y-axis, represents energy or activation, from low energy at the bottom to high energy at the top. This ingenious design creates 4 distinct quadrants, each associated with a rich group of emotions. The yellow quadrant, top right, high energy, pleasant emotions like joy, excitement, elation, enthusiasm. The green quadrant, bottom right, low energy, pleasant emotions like calm, contentment, serenity, relaxation. The blue quadrant, bottom left, low energy, unpleasant emotions like sadness, disappointment, despair, gloominess. The red quadrant, top left, high energy, unpleasant emotions like anger, anxiety, stress, frustration, fear. This tool, incredibly versatile, empowers individuals, from preschoolers learning about their feelings to CEOs navigating complex corporate challenges, to accurately recognize, label, and understand their current emotional state, providing an immediate foundation for choosing appropriate regulation strategies. His How We Feel app further allows users to track and analyze their emotional data over time, providing incredible, personalized insights into their own emotional patterns and triggers. This, my friends, is the kind of practical, transformative education that Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should be championing, moving beyond the what to the empowering how. EI in action, leadership, learning, and social impact, the ripple effect of mastery. Beyond the invaluable realm of personal mastery, the true, far-reaching power of emotional intelligence is perhaps most vividly evident in its profound impact on leadership dynamics, the very process of learning, and its cascading effect on broader social well-being. This is where the lessons from Semester 4 transcend individual self-improvement and become a force for collective good. Let's first explore the fascinating, almost tangible, concept of emotional contagion. Research from the esteemed Yale School of Management vividly illustrates this phenomenon. Emotions are not static, isolated experiences. They are highly infectious, spreading rapidly through groups, much like a viral wave. And critically, they spread most powerfully and predictably from those in positions of influence, from leaders, outward to their teams, their families, and their communities. Think about it. If a leader walks into a room radiating a positive mood, perhaps a genuine sense of enthusiasm, infectious optimism, or crystal-clear clarity, their team members, often unconsciously, will inevitably catch that mood. The tangible result? A surge in team performance, elevated morale, increased creativity, and a thriving, productive environment. Conversely, if a leader projects a negative mood, perhaps an undercurrent of anxiety, a visible frustration, or outright anger, that negativity will swiftly permeate the team, leading to decreased performance, stifled innovation, and a tense, stifling atmosphere. Your emotional state, particularly if you are in a leadership role, is not just your own, it is a shared resource or a shared burden. A leader genuinely high in emotional intelligence doesn't just meticulously manage tasks, projects, or bottom lines. They, with conscious intent, manage the very emotional climate of their entire organization. They inspire through authenticity, motivate through understanding, support through empathy, guide with clarity, and bring a sense of purpose to their employees, helping them operate in an optimal state, a state of engaged flow and psychological safety, not a state of chronic stress or fear. Their influence, therefore, doesn't just affect output, it creates a culture of trust, innovation, and genuine human flourishing. In stark contrast, a leader low in EI is often quickly disliked, prone to uncontrolled emotional outbursts, fundamentally lacks empathy, and disastrously misunderstands the complex human element of their team. They might, perhaps, achieve short-term results through sheer coercion, fear, or brute force, driving people relentlessly. But in the long run, this approach inevitably leads to debilitating employee burnout, the rapid loss of top talent, and ultimately, a painful, often spectacular, organizational failure. The human cost, the toll on well-being and potential, is simply immense. To truly underscore the transformative power of EI, we need only look beyond the boardrooms and into the everyday. Consider the remarkable, yet simple, story of Goen Brown, a humble bus driver in New York. Goen embodied high emotional intelligence in a role many might consider mundane, even repetitive. He didn't merely drive a bus, he transformed the daily commute from a chore into a joyful, connecting experience. He greeted every passenger warmly, often by name, engaged in friendly, uplifting conversations, and consistently radiated a genuine, unwavering positivity. His secret, he revealed, was not just professional duty. He viewed his passengers as his flock, imbuing his daily work with a higher purpose beyond simply navigating a route. This profound connection to purpose, combined with his consistently high EI, allowed him to perform his job with exceptional excellence, and earned him the genuine adoration and respect of everyone he encountered. This powerful narrative demonstrates unequivocally that emotional intelligence isn't some exclusive trait reserved for executives or public figures. It is a universal force that elevates performance, cultivates well-being, and creates profound positive impact in any role, at any level. Goen's example perfectly illustrates the Stoic principle of oikeiosis, appropriation, the progressive expansion of our circle of concern, extending care, compassion, and finding deep purpose and virtue in fulfilling one's duty with excellence, regardless of the task's perceived status. It's about performing your role not just competently, but virtuously. The pervasive influence of EI extends deeply into the very process of learning itself. Our emotions are not just passive background noise or incidental feelings. They are incredibly powerful, dynamic drivers of attention, memory, and focus. When students, or indeed any learners, feel truly engaged, deeply curious, and emotionally invested in the material, their attention skyrockets, their retention improves dramatically, and the learning experience becomes far more effective and enjoyable. This is a critical insight for both educators and leaders. Consciously designing content to create an emotional roller coaster, a deliberate and thoughtful variation of emotional states, can keep people fascinated, curious, and profoundly receptive. Different emotions are optimally suited for different tasks. A high-energy, enthusiastic state is perfect for creative brainstorming sessions, while a lower, calmer energy is more conducive to detailed, careful, analytical work. Understanding and leveraging this emotional dynamic can revolutionize how we teach and how we learn. In the realm of relationships, whether personal or professional, emotional intelligence is the very bedrock, the non-negotiable foundation for health and longevity. The ability to truly listen, to empathize deeply, and to skillfully regulate your own emotional responses are the absolute, non-negotiable keys to resolving conflicts constructively, building profound understanding, and cultivating deeper, more resilient connections. Conversely, consider for a moment the profound limitations of purely text-based communication that dominates so much of our modern interaction. The glaring absence of crucial nonverbal cues, the subtle shifts in facial expressions, the nuanced inflections of tone of voice, the unspoken language of body posture, can severely diminish our emotional intelligence in these interactions, making it exponentially harder to build genuine rapport, cultivate empathy, and establish the trust necessary for truly robust relationships. Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should also equip you with an arsenal of practical, immediately applicable regulation strategies. Two powerful ones, deeply rooted in both modern psychology and ancient Stoic philosophy, stand out. First, distancing or reframing. When you find yourself in the grip of a stressful, overwhelming situation, instead of being consumed by its immediate intensity, learn to mentally step back. Picture yourself looking down at the difficult situation from a hot air balloon, observing it from a detached, objective perspective. Or imagine the difficult person or the frustrating event as characters in a movie, allowing you to analyze their actions without being emotionally entangled. This cognitive distance creates vital space, allowing you to observe without being overwhelmed, thereby giving you the precious opportunity to choose a reasoned, effective response rather than an impulsive, reactive one. This deliberate practice of cognitive reframing and adopting the view from above are fundamental, ancient Stoic exercises for gaining perspective and maintaining inner peace amidst external chaos. Second, the practice of gratitude. This isn't just about feeling momentary good cheer, it's a potent, consistent strategy against corrosive emotions like envy and discontentment, and a powerful promoter of genuine, lasting contentment. Consistently cultivating and expressing gratitude has been empirically shown to improve numerous aspects of life, including our overall well-being, our ability to learn, and our capacity for achievement. For the Stoics, gratitude for what we have, for what is truly good and within our control, is a core virtue, a powerful antidote to endless desire and a key to true flourishing. Finally, let's confront a pervasive societal challenge where emotional intelligence offers not just a partial solution, but arguably the most critical missing piece: bullying. Bullying, a deeply damaging behavior, is precisely defined by a clear imbalance of power, an explicit intent to cause harm, and a pattern of repetition, leaving victims feeling terrifyingly isolated, ashamed, and utterly hopeless. Despite decades of well-intentioned efforts, countless anti-bullying campaigns, and new policies, the rates of bullying haven't significantly decreased over the past 30 to 40 years. This stark reality points to a fundamental flaw in our approach. The true, lasting solution isn't just about rules, punishments, or awareness campaigns. It is profoundly about teaching core emotional skills like empathy, perspective-taking, and self-regulation. Equipping individuals with genuine emotional intelligence means they are far less likely to become bullies themselves, as they understand the impact of their actions, and far more likely to be compassionate upstanders who intervene and support those in need. EI fosters a culture of respect and understanding. The grand vision: cultivating an emotionally intelligent society. A world reimagined. The individual mastery of emotional intelligence, as we've explored through Goleman's frameworks and Brackett's tools, is undeniably transformative. But the vision of these pioneers, and indeed the broader aspiration that resonates deeply with the Stoic ideal of a flourishing society, extends far beyond mere personal improvement. Both Daniel Goleman and Dr. Mark Brackett share a profound and inspiring grand vision: a world fundamentally transformed by pervasive, deeply embedded emotional intelligence. They believe, and compelling evidence overwhelmingly supports, that the more emotional intelligence we consciously cultivate and integrate into the very fabric of our society, the better, the more compassionate, and the more resilient our world will genuinely become. Imagine for a moment a future shaped by these principles. Picture a society where parents are not just raising children, but are actively, skillfully nurturing kinder, more empathetic, and more resilient young minds. Envision daily interactions filled with genuine compassion, not just within the familiar warmth of family and friends, but extending outward, naturally, to strangers encountered in passing, fostering a sense of shared humanity. Consider a world where we extend our profound care and deep empathy not just to other human beings, but to the environment itself, recognizing our intricate interconnectedness with the natural world and our responsibility as its stewards. This isn't a utopian fantasy born of naive idealism. It is the tangible, achievable outcome of widespread, deeply ingrained emotional literacy and practice. Dr. Brackett's vision, in particular, emphasizes the critical importance of integrating emotional education from the earliest stages of life, from the first days of kindergarten, all the way through university, and crucially, continuously throughout adulthood. This isn't merely an elective subject, a secondary soft skill to be casually offered. It is, and should be, a core curriculum for life itself. Because when we, as individuals and as a collective, truly learn to understand, to manage, and to utilize our emotions wisely and virtuously, we don't just become slightly better individuals. We evolve into truly exceptional partners, more empathetic parents, inspiring and effective leaders, and ultimately, more compassionate, responsible, and engaged citizens of a truly flourishing world. This is the legacy that Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 should be striving to build. Your path forward, embracing emotional mastery. So, after this deep dive, what does Emotional Intelligence Semester 4 really teach you? It teaches you that EI is far, far more than an academic theory confined to textbooks and lecture notes. It is a vital, living, learnable set of skills, the very essence of practical wisdom, absolutely essential for achieving profound personal mastery, demonstrating truly effective leadership in any sphere, and fostering a more compassionate, understanding, and resilient society for all. It reveals that true intelligence, the kind that truly matters in the human experience, lies not merely in what you know, or how quickly you can process information, but in how skillfully, how ethically, and how thoughtfully you navigate your own complex inner world and your intricate interactions with others. It's the difference between merely existing and truly living. And here, I want to leave you with the most empowering takeaway, a timeless message that echoes with profound clarity through centuries of Stoic philosophy. You possess the innate, profound power to cultivate these essential skills. Your emotional mastery, your capacity for resilience, your ability to choose your response to life's inevitable challenges, all of this is fundamentally within your control. It is a discipline, a daily practice you can, and indeed must, refine every single day. This journey is continuous, and every conscious effort you make, however small, strengthens your inner citadel. Now I want to hear from you. As you reflect on these insights, which specific practical emotional intelligence skill, perhaps from Goleman's Pillars, or Brackett's Ruler Framework, or which powerful Stoic principle will you commit to practicing, truly practicing, this week, to enhance your emotional mastery? Share your thoughts, your experiences, your challenges, and your unique reflections in the comments below. Your personal journey, your willingness to engage, and your insights are not just for your own benefit. They inspire and strengthen our entire community here at True Stoic Mindset. Let's learn and grow together. If you found profound value in bridging the gap between academic emotional intelligence and these powerful, practical, Stoic-aligned wisdoms, if this message resonated with your journey towards self-mastery, please give this video a genuine like. Share it with someone in your life who you believe could truly benefit from this message, a friend, a family member, a colleague. And critically, if you haven't already, subscribe to True Stoic Mindset for more deep dives into ancient wisdom applied to modern life, for practical philosophy that empowers you to thrive in today's world. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, so you never miss our latest content designed to help you cultivate your inner strength and wisdom. Thank you for joining us today on this journey of discovery and mastery. Until next time, keep cultivating your true Stoic mindset, and remember, your emotions are not your masters. They are messengers, awaiting your wise and disciplined response.